find that seated position. Gently close your eyes. Feel yourself rooted into the ground. Take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. As you connect with your body and your emotions and your energy this morning, just observe where you're at right now. Maybe just have a think about where you might want to be at the end of today. What kind of day do you want to have ahead of you? And how are you going to stay true to that, despite distractions, despite circumstances? How are you going to guide yourself through the day? Maybe you don't have the answer right now, but just check in throughout the practice this morning and we can come back to it at the end. We're bringing palms into prayer, heart center. Taking a deep breath in, bringing your hands up. And as you breathe out, just reaching over to the right, just gently stretching the left side of your body. Breathing in, back up to center. Breathing out, over to the left. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out, palms to chest. Placing your hands on your knees, we're going to start with some seated cat-cows. So good for warming up the spine, doing things a bit differently. So breathing in, raise your head up to the ceiling, roll the shoulders back. As you breathe out, roll through the shoulders, dip down through the lower back, punch and bring your chin to chest. Go at the pace of your breath. Bringing yourself back to center. Taking a deep breath in, reach those hands up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, reach forward, so bending at the hips, placing the hands on the floor wherever they get to. And here you can stay where you are if this is where your hips can take you and this is comfortable for you. If you want to increase the fold, just carefully walk your hands forward till you find a point. Comfort for you. Maybe you can get your forehead on the mat if you've got that flexibility. Feel the stretch through the hips, through your upper back. And then we'll walk our hands slowly back to our feet. Into a seated position again. Interlinking the fingers behind your back. We're going to counter pose by reaching our arms out behind us. So opening up our chest, proud pigeon moment. And release the arms, rest them beside you. We're going to take deep breaths in. As we do that, we're going to hunch the shoulders towards our ears. And then as you breathe out, release the shoulders down. You can breathe out through your nose or your mouth, whichever works better for you. Breathing in, shoulders to ears, hunch. And release. Yeah, release the tension. One more time. Breathing in, shoulders to ears. Release. Excellent. And go into sun salutation, so making your way to a standing position. Oh, I read something anyway, if you're still down. A sign of aging is whether you can get from sitting on the floor to standing without using your hands or your feet. If you slowly make your way up, can you do that and go back down again without putting your hands on the floor? So the point being not to then judge yourself and worry about how much you're aging if you need to use your hands. It's about having that awareness. So then you go, actually, by practicing yoga, by doing other things, I'm working towards improving that. So I don't know if there's any truth in that, but I think it's good to have awareness of what you can do and can't do. So feet grounded on the mat, hip width apart. Breathe in and breathe out, bringing the palms to chest. Remember, keep this a nice flow. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Breathing in, right leg back. Hold to plank. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Breathing in, scoop up. Roll the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, right leg forward. Breathing out, left leg forward. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathe out, palms to chest. I'm just going to say breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathe in left. Hold to plank. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathe in left. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm going to go into a forward fold again. So breathing in, reach those hands up. And as you breathe out, pivot at the hips. Make your way down so that your head and your arms are just dangling. As always, keep that softness in the knees. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Stretch the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Planting the hands down, we're going to take the right leg back into runner's lunge. So remember, drop the right knee to the floor if it's more comfortable for you. Opening up the chest, relaxing any tension in your facial muscles. If anybody wants to get deeper down into this lunge, take your left hand and place it on the inside of your left knee and make your way down onto your elbows, but be very careful with that. I do not have the flexibility to do that, so that's far too much for my hips, but feel free to do that variation if it works for you. You're going to drop the right knee to the floor, raise the torso up, find your balance. Breathing in, arms into warrior arms. So arms up, palms facing inwards. And as you breathe out, dropping down into the lunge. Remember not hunching your shoulders around your ears, keeping those shoulders drawn down, arms raised up. So you breathe in, bring the hips back, plant the hands down. We'll take the left leg back into downward dog temporarily. Now we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, twist the hips, cock it over to the left. Drawing that left heel down to stretch the calf. Nice and strong in the shoulders, avoid temptation to collapse. pushing yourself away from the floor. And bringing that top leg back down into downward dog. Give it a pedal out here. Going to do a little interim flow before we do the other side. So bringing the weight forward into plank. Either lowering yourself to your knees or lowering yourself down to the floor. As you're on the floor, rolling up into extended puppy. Roll the toes back into downward dog. Breathing in again, forward into plank. Lower yourself down on the out breath. Breathing in, scoop up. Breathing out into downward dog. One more time. Breathing in into plank. Breathing out down to the floor. Breathing in, scoop up. Breathing out, downward dog. This time we're going to bring the left, hang on, which way round is it? Right leg went back, so hang on, I'm getting myself in the muddle. That right, left leg back this time. Yeah, that sounds right, doesn't it? So if you wanted that variation, right hand on the inside of the right foot, make your way down to your elbows if you have that flexibility in your hips. Otherwise, remaining in runner's lunge. So I'm placing the left knee on the floor as you raise your torso up. Find your point of balance. Breathing in, arms into warrior. Breathing out, dropping down into the lunge. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Find that focus. Pay attention to your body. Just observe how you're feeling in every part of your body, how your fingers are feeling, your toes. Breathing in, bring the hips back, plant the hands down, right leg back into downward dog. And then we're going to take the left leg up, twist the hips, cock it over to the right, drawing the right heel down to the floor now. You've got that left hip stacked on top of the right one. Bringing it back into downward dog, little pedal out, and we'll do another flow here. So breathing in, bring the weight forward into plank, breathing out, down to the floor, breathing in, scoop up, breathing out, downward dog. And again, breathing in into plank, breathing out, down to the mat, breathing in, scoop up, breathing out, downward dog. One more, breathing into plank, breathing down to the mat, breathing in, scoop up, breathing out, downward dog. Another pedal out here. And down onto your knees. We're going to take a rest in child's pose. So forehead on the mat, arms resting by your side. Nice deep breath, sink down into the mat here. Do breathe in, slowly unfurl into a seated position. When you're up, roll those shoulders back. Take the weight forward a moment, tuck the toes under, sit back on your heels, and again we're going to interlink our fingers behind our back. Reach the arms out behind you, open up the chest here. So we're getting a good stretch across the chest and collarbones, and a good stretch on the bottom of the feet. Maybe close your eyes. Take a moment to come back to your intention for the day ahead of you. Quite a powerful position to be in right now. So maybe hone your strength, how you want to channel it for the day ahead. Release the hands. We'll take the weight forward onto all fours, but just give those feet a shake or a tap on the floor, release the tension. And you're in all fours now, so knees below hips, wrists below shoulders, and we'll do some all four cat-cows. So this is so good for the spine to increase your flexibility. If anyone has back issues, try and do this regularly. So breathing in, head and tailbone up. Breathing out, arch the back into the cat. Head and tailbone tucked under. Go at the pace of your breath. Feel the diaphragm extending on the cow and compressing in the cat. Back to neutral. We're going to do some hippos, starting with whichever knee works for you. In nice big circles, work the hips. Again, staying strong in your shoulders. And reverse direction. And back to all fours, and the other side. Nice big circles, take it nice and steady. And reverse direction. Back to neutral. We're going to what I like to call stick insect, starting with the left leg extended, right hit the table, just move. Left leg extended, right arm. So whether you look at the floor or whether you look in front of you, whichever works best for your neck and your balance. Staying strong in that left shoulder, so you're pushing yourself away from the floor. And back to neutral, and then we'll do the other side. So right leg, left arm. Back to neutral. I'm in a point of, do we go with dolphins or do we go with pigeons? And I think we're going to go with pigeons today, because I think we did dolphins last week or the week before, I can't remember now. So we will start in plank position. So make your way to plank. We'll just spend a moment here. So really think about your plank position. Abdominals drawn to your spine, tailbone tucked under. And then we'll start with the right knee to right elbow, cross the foot over, plant the knee behind the right wrist, placing the left knee on the floor, extending the leg, sitting nice and tall, and playing with your hips to make sure you've got the stretch where you really need it. So it might be in your right hip, it might be in the front of your left hip, so it depends on your flexibility. And we'll slowly make our way down onto our elbows. Use the out breath to release into this stretch, because if you're resisting it in intention, you won't get the benefit of it. So do your best on the out breath just to relax, to let it go into the stretch rather than trying to fight it. And then if you're comfortable doing so, extend the arms, place the forehead on the mat. And we'll make our way back to our elbows, back to our hands, and we'll do the quad stretch now. So if from experience you know that this is too much for you, then just leave the leg down. Otherwise, bending the left knee, holding the ankle on the outside. And release the foot, plant the hands down. Take the right leg up to the ceiling, give it a good shake. And back into downward dog. And taking the weight forward into plank. We'll spend a moment here. Good for the core strength. I haven't done plank challenge for a while. We need to go back to that. See, this is your taster. And then left knee to left elbow. Cross the foot over. Place the right knee on the floor. Extend that leg. Sitting nice and tall. You may notice the difference in each side. One side might be tighter than the other. Make our way down to our elbows. And then if you're comfortable doing so, extend the arms, forehead on the mat. Slowly come back to your elbows, back to your hands, and this time bending the right knee. Releasing the foot, plant the hands down, left leg up to the ceiling, give it a good shake, release the tension, and back into downward dog. We come down onto our knees, cross the feet over, roll back onto your bum. We're going to slide forward and go into the two-stage of forward fold. So the first one is with legs straight, and then we'll make the adjustment where we bend the knees, take the tension off the hamstrings so that we can get further down and then get the stretch in the back as opposed to the hamstrings. So pull the fleshy bits out behind you. To start with, we've got them, they're very important. Breathing in, reach the hands up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, reaching forward and just resting your hands wherever they get to. So it does not matter how low down you get. What matters is that you're feeling that stretch down the backs of the legs and the hamstrings as much as you can. So if you need to have a slight adjustment, just imagine your lower back moving forward slightly. You might feel the increased stretch on your hamstrings without needing to put any unnecessary stress on your back here. So by all means, if your forehead is on the mat between your legs, amazing. But yeah, pipe dream for me. That is one thing I love about yoga. Anyone can practice it. Everyone can get benefits. It does not matter. There is no right and wrong. Just because you can't get your forehead on the mat doesn't mean you're not good at yoga. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's such a personal journey. And release up a little bit. Then we're going to bend the knees enough to take the stretch off the hamstring. You may want to part your knees here, so make space. And then make your way down again, extending those arms down to the mat till you feel the stretch in your back. If you still feel the hamstrings are taking the brunt and stopping you, then just bend your knees a bit more. And slowly release as you make your way up. Going to just shimmy forward slightly on the mat, come down onto your backs, and then hugging out in a releasing pose. So bring the knees to chest, nose to knees if it's comfortable on your neck, and gently rock side to side if you wish. If it's more comfortable, you can always part your knees at this point and just hug with your legs more further apart, that's fine. And then we're going to extend the legs, extend the arms, full body stretch. Nice deep breath in here and out. Resting your arms by your side, we're going to do a very short Shavasana. So just let your feet rest out to the side. You may want to part your legs so that they are mat or hip width apart. Arms by your side, palms facing up. Just let your fingers curl naturally. Gently close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Feeling your tummy rising on the in-breath and falling on the out-breath. You may want to bring yourself again back to your intention for the day. What do you want from today? How do you want to be today? What's important for you to remain focused on today? And how are you going to look after yourself today? If you have time to continue in Shavasana, then please do. Otherwise, bring yourself onto your right side, just roll over, and then very carefully and slowly bring yourself back into a seated position. Bringing your palms together and heart center. Thank yourself for giving yourself this time today to practice, looking after your well-being. And thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next week.